Hello, how are you? My name is Dr. Sharnael Wolverton. For those of you who do not know me yet, I am a part of Young Living and a part of your leader. I'm really excited today because I happen to get to go to Gala with Julie Kinne. She is not only in our downline and an amazing person, but she's somebody that I have known over 10 years. Back in the early 2000s or late 90s, when I worked for John Paul Jackson. She was working with John Paul too, and we know a lot of the same people, run around a lot of the same circles. Anyway, we got to go to Gala, and we saw a lot of great things and met some great diamonds. And hey, and some of you met her there. Well, she has got some amazing insight to some ways that she builds through social media. She's spent a lot of time investing and getting people getting trained professionally to be able to figure out how to market online, because she moves around a lot and she does a lot of things. And she was sharing some of her tips with me, Donna, and I thought that it would be great to get her and her daughter. She has two amazing daughters who are both doing the social media thing, and get a few of these tips in on this group, so you guys can share the knowledge with your teams and you guys could have the same results. Now, this is not one of those, hey, let's just learn all this stuff and it probably won't work kind of deal. This is proven. She is someone who enrolls 10 to 15 to 20 people a month. So I'm telling you that she knows what she's doing, and she's been doing it, and she's amazing at it. Hey, Emma. So I hope that you guys will jump in on this. Let's see, where are you? Let me see how to add her. There she is. Bring her on the camera. I'm going to add her here. Sharing a few things, and we may have her a couple more times after, but we're going to have both of her kids here join us too. Right after, we're just going to do a quick 15-minute tip for each of them. So if you don't have time to watch this right this very minute, you can go back to it, and we will save it and put it in the pinned area. Hi.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes, awesome.
Perfect.
Now, where are you? Because I know you're traveling.
I'm in Park City because that's where everybody goes after convention when they want to have content together for the next 3 months.
That's true. Actually, a lot of the diamonds go to Park City. They call it to get over their convention hangover. That's what they call it.
I've run into just a few people on the hiking trails, so I guess it's true.
Yes, I haven't personally been to Park City, but I hear about it all the time, and I'm going to have to do that next time. So I'm glad that you got to experience that. And if you run into any diamonds, give them a big hug for me. So
Absolutely.
I was telling these guys, I don't know if you saw my intro, that we go way back, and that you have invested not just time, but a lot of money, like cash, into being a professional, into learning how to do this in a way that you could do it from your laptop. And that you're not just spending a lot of money and learning a bunch of stuff, because one of the pitfalls of not doing what you're doing is going out and just learning and gaining knowledge, but not ever applying it, or applying it and not having success. And in your case, not only have you spent the time and the money, but you have applied it and you have got results. And so, first of all, thank you for that, and thank you for being so willing to share some of this with us. It's very generous of you to take some time out from your family right now just to kind of get out and share some of this with all of us eager people to learn how to apply this for ourselves.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Sharnael. And if it feels like it's too noisy, just let me know. I'll be glad to change positions, okay? I was just trying to find a quiet spot in a public location. So, being trained is so important. And so many of us say, well, gosh, if I could just, I'm just going to wing it because, it's a home-based business and I can do it. I mean, all I have to do is just share. And yes, we can share. And yes, some of us can share and make it to the top. But most of us really need to get some skill. We're not all born with learning how to connect with people. We're not all born knowing how to close a deal. We'll call it, right. And we all have our hangups. We all have our weaknesses. And so for me, it was about learning to take my weaknesses and make them a strength. And I believe in the power of getting skill. I mean, doctors will go to school for 12 years to get skill, right? People will,
Yeah.
CEOs will go and they've been educated. They either pay the price or you get the skill. And you can't just, most people just cannot walk in with the skill or without paying the price or paying somebody to help them. So my philosophy is, look, the faster I can get this together, the faster I grow, the faster it changes my family's lives. And so for me, it's really about being humble enough to be coachable. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of us think we can do it, but the reality is we have to have humility to allow someone else to speak into our life and to correct us when it's not right. And it doesn't feel good, but it's so powerful. It's some of the, like even Tom Hanks has a coach. Think about that. Even today, Tom Hanks has a coach when he goes into another movie. And I know for my daughters with pageantry, we would say, well, we don't need a coach. We'll be great anyways, right? And the reality is that that's not true. That the best of the best get a coach. So for us, and for me, I've learned to just line up with the right people. And look, even if you get a coach, if you don't, and a coach could be a book, a coach could be an online class. Like everybody's got their coach that they jive the best with. And so for me, it wasn't just about getting a coach and not executing. It was about executing. And so I like to put myself, like Mary Young said that Gary says, if you're not living on the edge, then get out of the way or something like that. What was it, Sharnael?
Yeah, that's it.
That was it.
Then you're taking up too much space.
That's what it was. We're taking up too much space. And so when I actually I paid somebody to help coach me. And when I did that, I just decided to live on the edge and execute, execute, execute. I was making 200 cold calls a day. Why? Because that was a weakness of mine, and I will never be determined by my weakness. My life will not be determined by the weakness that I feel. I will look at my weakness head on and take it on until it becomes a strength. And so for me, I was calling 200 people. Can you imagine literally dialing 200 people a day? And then you know what? I started landing them, and I land one, and I land one, and I land one. And I'm like, I'm so excited. But, it took a lot of time to get to that place till I got the skill to be able to grow into that. And so if you're going to get a book, if you're going to work with somebody and let them mentor you, execute it.
Oh, wait. We can't hear. Can you guys hear?
Can you hear me?
Okay. There we go. Yeah, I got you.
I said a word that was close to the name SIRI, and she turned me off. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, it's about doing something every day that takes me closer to my goal. I literally, when I wake up in the morning, I work. I work because it's the hardest thing for me to do, right? So my greatest strength, I will not allow to be my greatest weakness, and my greatest weakness, I will turn it into my greatest strength, right? So if, like, let's just say you're afraid to talk.
Yes.
If you're afraid to talk to people, then you talk to a bunch of people till it becomes a strength. So every morning I wake up and I sit down at 8 a.m. And when I work, I work. I'm not on Facebook. I don't allow my children to come in and distract me. I mean, some people might have to allow that, but my kids know. I'm like, I'm working. And so they know to give me grace. And it's just a time where we work, you know? And so I'll sit down and I'll do it for 2-3 hours. And then I get up and I take a break, and I don't quit until I'm done, because I know that the afternoon is my weakest time, my slowest time of the day. And so I choose to schedule myself in a way where I find the greatest success. Does that make sense? Are these the kind of things that you're looking for? Are these good nuggets?
Yes, and two things to piggyback on what you were saying about the mentoring thing, just to let you guys know, we are doing a mentoring group starting July 1st through the 17th. And part of what we're going to learn, because I myself have spent about 10 grand going into learning social media because that was a huge weakness for me. I was a in-person kind of person. I built a lot of being to getting to diamond was on social media, and it was also doing live meetings, like real in person, not live like Facebook. And I was doing 4 to 6 meetings a week with people in front of me, as well as went to Minnesota and went to 2 other places and spent a weekend 3 or 4 times conquering social media, learning how to do the profile, how to do the edit, what to do, what about clickable links, like how often do you change the profile, what kind of profile picture, what kind of things to post. So we'll be talking about that, as well as just a lot of business things and other things too. So if you guys are interested in jumping in on the coaching thing for July 1st through the 17th, that's an opportunity, and I'll put the information here below. But second thing I wanted to mention is you brought up, well, that's somebody's car is going off. Sorry about that. I hope you guys can hear me.
Yeah.
When you were at the gala, I believe you were speaking with somebody about getting lists in Facebook and how to use Facebook lists to connect with people in a better way. And I thought it was brilliant. I just think that's amazing. Do you mind sharing that with us, like, real quick?
And that's so good. And first off, let me just say, if Sharnael's offering training, you'd be crazy not to take it. I promise you, compared to what Sharnael has paid and compared to what I have paid, I guarantee she's a lot less expensive. If you have any passion, any desire to do anything like that, connect with her. You always have to take the next opportunity, because that opportunity takes you to the next opportunity, right? But in regards to the gala, I spoke to some diamonds, and I thought, well, if I'm here, I'm going to find out, what'd you do? How'd you do it? And one of them told me, she was so sweet, and she said, here's what you can do. There are literally, you can create lists on Facebook. And of course, Facebook will create some lists for us, like, we all graduated from the same high school, we all live in the same town, those kinds of things. But you can also create your own lists of people. And so what you can do is literally take the people that are not on Essential Rewards and put them all in a list. And it's your not on Essential Rewards yet list, right? Because they're going to get on the list. They're going to get on ER. And so you put them all on your list. And then when you click that list, you only see their feed show up. At that point, remember, this business is about connecting with people. It's about making relationships. It's about genuinely sharing, connecting, so that they love, trust you, okay? And so if you've got everybody who's not on ER at the moment, you click on that list, everybody shows up, and you can literally spend 10 minutes going through, connecting with people. Oh my gosh, that's the cutest picture of your kids. Oh my gosh, you're on vacation this summer. Tell me more about that. And it's just about asking genuinely good, curious, detective-like questions. Did you catch that? It's asking genuine questions, not just superficial questions, not just talking about the business, not just trying to get them on ER. It's about loving on people where they are, because this is a business of relationship. This is a business of just being in, valuing who people are and where they are. Because the reason people will get on ER in the beginning is because they trust you. They know they have the need, but they'll take the leap because they trust you. And so you click on that list, spend about 10 minutes, set your timer. I promise you, set your timer, because if you don't, it'll be 30, 45 minutes, and you'll have thought you were doing money-making activity, and that is not money-making activity. It's part of management activity. But we have to do management, right? So money-making activity should be about 70% of your time, and that's either introducing people to the business, it's either sharing, the presentation or going through the kit with them, or it's signing them up. Those are your 70%. But that other 30% of your time, you're going to make these lists. and you're going to connect with people. So you might have one, for all your leaders. You might have one that's just for people who are on Essential Rewards. You might have one for people who haven't ordered in 6 months, or they're your lists. It's your business. You decide where the value is best placed for where you're at. But that's an incredible tip that they gave us that I think we all should be doing.
I love it. I think it's great. And again, coming from someone like you who was in, how many people are you enrolling monthly?
10 to 15,
Average?
10 to 15.
Yes. And look, in the first 4.5 years, Julie knows this, but for those of you who don't know this, my goal every month was to enroll 25 people. And I hit that goal every single month for 4.5 years. And many times I went up to 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 was my highest in 1 month. And I did this all by doing live classes and doing exactly what she's doing, cold calling, going into chiropractic offices, going into bookstores, going into coffee shops, leaving my card, talking to people, always having cards, and always getting their information. Because I'll tell you what, you can give your card all day long, but think about it. When's the last time that someone gave you a card and then you lost it? I'm telling you, the best way to do any kind of connection is if you're just standing there and someone's like coughing or doing this because they have a headache, and you're like, oh, I have something that can help with that, and you pull it out of your purse and you're like, if you want to try this peppermint, put your hand out and I'll just put it on there. All you got to do is sniff it or put it in their temples or whatever. And they're going to be like, oh, thank you, whatever. And usually they try it. And then you go, here's my phone. Put your information in here and I will send you an article on this information, and you can get how you can get it and how we can stay connected. And also, we're doing a meeting on Saturday, and I'd love to have you come and you can learn more about the basics of essential oils. And here's the address or whatever. I'll text that to you. Just put your information in my phone real quick. You put it in their phone and you put a little note like Capital One Bank or something where you met them. And then the big thing is follow through. Send them the freaking information. Do not forget to send them the information, right?
Right is so good.
If you just give them your card and hope, I hope maybe they'll call me. You feel like you're doing something because you made these cards up and you gave them to people, but people put them in their pocket and they don't see the value. They don't understand yet. They haven't had the kit. They haven't done what you've done or seen what you've seen to know how amazing this is, how it's gold, how it's liquid miracles in the bottle. So you have to be the one to contact them and get them in. And if they don't jump in right away, do exactly what Julie was saying. Find them on Facebook. Hey, how you doing? Don't stalk them or be crazy. But, just every now and then, remind them, hey, you didn't get to come to the meeting last week, but I wanted you to let you know we have another one coming up on Tuesday next week, and I'd love to see you. I'd love for you to meet some of my friends that have seen some really good testimonies in their lives, and they're having some really good results with the same thing that you were dealing with. And I'd really love for you to meet like a good community of people that have, these issues and or are looking for some healthy ways to have some results in their body or whatever. So get their email, get their Facebook, get their text, get their phone number, and not just you. Give them the card. That's a good idea, but get them to put that on your phone and then follow up. Because when you do these, this is producing, this is what's going to get your new leads. Mm-hmm. And I know you mentioned something about your warm market and your cold market. And the kids, when they were talking, they had said that you guys had already went through all your warm market. And so now you are reaching out and looking for new stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So we're taking things online. That's just kind of our groove right now. I can probably get about 50, 60. I'm not spending that much money on ads, but I could do about 50 to 60 cold market, bring them in every month. And out of that, I can probably, the 10 to 15 I'll sign up. So we've been doing that and just taking time to learn and become serious and to become skilled about it. It's not as simple as just boosting a post or slapping up an ad on Facebook. It takes some skill, but I don't regret it because it's just another funnel, right? It's about how many funnels can we have that build into our business that make it the success that we desire it to be. So it's another funnel. And one of the things that
Yeah.
I do too is when I'm out and I meet people, I actually don't have business cards. It's an intentional strategy because I don't want to look like, oh, I'm the lady with the card and like I'm intentionally trying to target you. I'm not. I am. I'm not. Right? And so if people say, well, do you have a card? And I'm like, oh, you know what? No, I don't have any cards with me because I actually don't own any cards. Oh, no, I don't have any cards, but you know what? Here, just give me your information. Let's just text each other and we'll share our information back and forth. And so that's what we're doing. And people are like, sure, here's my number. And they'll hand over their phone number to me all the time. And then the other thing that I do is I put people into my Facebook. Oh, here's my Facebook page. Just friend request me. And we connect that way.
Yes. Awesome. And it's working.
It's working, yes.
It's working.
Yes,
You're working. You're working it.
yes. And I'm learning how to leverage myself so less is more and I can actually live while I'm creating our income. So it's been really good.
And this is a woman who has moved several times since I've known her, maybe 5 or 6 times since I've known her. And the last 3 moves have been just in like a year. So she's got to do this online because her arena, her community is changing all the time. And so online and keeping up with people on Facebook and keeping up with the people that she's met in multiple places, that's the way it is. That's it. If you got a phone and a computer and you got a Facebook and an Instagram or whatever, however you choose to connect with people, we have only so many people that live in our neighborhood or whatever. And I know I live kind of in the country. I don't know about you guys, but I have 15,000 people in over 44 countries. I would not have been able to do that without being online. And yes, we have 1 million people in Young Living, but we have 7 billion people on the planet, which means if you do the math, there are so many people still who have not got their kit and their membership, and you guys can get them in and have them have that experience and be a loyal member to you and our team. And trust me, we just saw how many billions of diamonds walk across the stage, Julie?
I put together a video of all of the diamonds and I was blown away how many Royal Crown diamonds there were. This is not
Yeah.
hard. All
Yeah.
different kinds of people are becoming Royal Crown Diamond. Why not
In
us?
all different ways. Yeah. And
Yeah.
this just to me goes to show because most of them have become diamond in the last 2 years. Like this is not
Wow.
what old school Amway where you have to get in on the ground floor and that's the only way you're going to get it. The way our compensation plan is you can start today and be diamond in 10 months. Like people are doing that. And so especially with the all the online opportunities that there was a woman who lives in Korea who is not even allowed to sell memberships to anyone in the country she lives in Korea. It's against the law. And she has built an entire downline as a diamond from Korea on her phone. She made diamond. So without, can you imagine living somewhere where you literally can't even sell where you live in your entire country? So don't tell me that you can't do it. There were people from Ecuador and what have you that had only just a few products in Ecuador, and they were making diamond with people who their average income in Ecuador is $28 a month. Okay. And yet they were springing up diamonds in Ecuador of people who were still people. I've been to the clinic over there several times. And when people, they can't even ship to the house. You have to go get your products at the clinic from far away. And many of these people do not have cars. And yet the products sell themselves and people will sign on when they know that they have a need and they know that this works. So don't let any of this justifications and of excuses creep in. There are way worse situations where people are still choosing to do it because they just get it in their mind like, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what excuses you have or justifications. If you choose to do it, you'll do it. From wherever you are, you're going to do this. And I encourage you guys, we're going to have another couple videos. Her daughters are going to hop on here in a second, so stay tuned for a couple more tips. And again, thank you, Julie. You got any last words? I'm sure we'll have you on again, but do you have any last words for this morning, this afternoon?
You know, I agree with you, Sharnael. Look, no matter what it takes, get training. Be humble enough, connect with Sharnael, get the training from her, learn how to do this, and don't give up. Because those who want it will do it. And that's the moral of the story, just like you said. So I know my girls are coming up. Sharnael, they're amazing. And it's not because they're my girls. Like, Janae literally studies this kind of thing. She studies it. She's spending her time. She's spending her money to be, her own money. She's only 19 to be trained. Sydney, who's 17, she's spending her energy and intention, and she's building up her own brand. And this is really, you know, I just can't speak highly enough of them, not because they're my daughters, but because they truly, truly inspire me to become better. So I'm excited for you guys to hear them.
Awesome. Well, who's going first?
Well, I don't know. I'm going to get off here. They're watching, and they're not with me because they're like, it's too noisy. I'm going someplace more professional, Mom. So,
okay.
So I'm going to jump off. All right. Thank you so much.
Ready. Hop on.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.